viewers. We'll shock YouTube. Oh my God, YouTube is gonna hit.
Going shirtless. Okay.
We're Bears Success.
I'm Eric.
I'm Christian. Welcome to the Bears Success Show. And what do we have for this episode?
Today
Fluffy?
we're going to be talking to Alex Day, a former Montrealer who now lives in Vancouver, Canada. And we're going to be talking about body positivity, labeling, and also shaving.
Yes, he likes shaving his body, so we're going to talk about it. Is that bad? Is not a bad thing? What's that? And many things. It was very cool shot.
Yes.
I'm like kind of terrified right now, but also kind of excited because I've been thinking about doing this for so long. It's finally happening. No, it's okay. Why are people watching? Because you're fabulous.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm great. How are y'all?
We're good.
Welcome to our Bears Success Show. What an honor.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're very
Yes,
welcome.
across country because you're here in Toronto, Canada. He's in the other side.
Yeah, all the way in Vancouver. Yeah. Yeah.
And Vancouver is special for us because our honeymoon was there.
Oh, really? It's a beautiful city, that's for sure.
So we saw that you define yourself as a toxic gender queer. What is that about?
What does that mean?
Well, okay. Well, basically, I recently started defining myself as gender fluid. And the reason that I started defining myself as gender fluid is if you had asked me when I was a kid, I used to tell my friends I was a girl put in a boy's body. But over time, that kind of changed. And my perception of gender over time has just kind of evolved and just kind of changed. And I kind of see it now just as a very personal thing where you get to just define it as you wish is fit. So just as gender expression is, just as your sexual expression is, it's something that you get to choose for yourself. Gender is, no one can really define gender per se anymore. So I just say, take it and do that. And I called myself toxic genderqueer because someone recently called me that. Because I'm very outspoken and I always speak my mind, and they called me a, quote, toxic genderqueer. And I was like, that's a great headline. So that's why it is.
A toxic genderqueer show. To be honest.
Yeah, that's right.
Your YouTube channel.
When people love labeling online lately. Everything is a label.
Everything is a label. Everyone loves labels. Well, whatever. Might as well embrace them, right?
Yeah,
true.
Call me toxic. Sure. I'm toxic. I'm outspoken. Yes. Yes. I'm all here for it. Yeah.
The first idea we had about chatting with you is when you sent submit pictures for Bears Success on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we talk about the fact you shave your body and then discuss a bit about that. We thought it would be very interesting to talk about that because especially in the bear world, that's kind of a taboo thing. Don't talk about shaving.
As I've learned, yeah, for sure. Well, for me, the whole bear community, it was kind of like the first community that I felt like I might be a part of as I was kind of discovering, like there's all these tribes and there's all these tribes in the gay world. So you're like, which one am I? Am I a twink? Am I this? Am I that? So I was the skinny kid who wanted to be bigger and who also preferred to be hairless. And I'm like, am I a bear? But bears are hairy. So I was all kind of confused. But before I got this flag, this wonderful gainer flag that I have behind me, I had a, oh my gosh, I'm so I'm getting a little too excited.
Yeah, no, the gainer got it. You're really a gainer.
I just love talking about this. But yeah, no, so before I got this flag, I had a bear flag in my apartment because it was the closest thing to. So I start, where you find gainers is around like plus size people, which is usually in the bear world. And in the bear world, I quickly discovered that men who shave aren't really, the yeah, you do that. This is what I get a lot. Oh,
It does. I actually didn't know about that flag. Very good to know. Very cool.
yeah. So this is the beautiful gainer flag. Oh my gosh, where am I? Okay, there we go.
They have a chub flag too. I saw
Yeah, there is.
There we go.
Just don't know where to get them.
I know. That's it.
Yeah, it's not easy to get those flags. I had to order this one on Amazon.
Amazon?
I think I ordered it like from the UK too. So it was like before I found this, I was considering printing it at like a local flag because I really wanted this flag. I never saw this flag in person. Like I'd never seen it at a pride parade or anything. You have a float of everything. You never have a gainer float. You have like little gainer sub communities, but they're not quite at the point of like openly like showing it. So last year in 2019 where I wore this to the Pride Parade and was like, oh no, someone might know. It's like, no one knows what this flag means anyways. But it was just a moment of like finally it's just out there and I don't have to worry about someone finding out because it just is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Actually, gonna make another chat thing about the gamer side.
Yes.
Because they're very. Many gamers are in the closet.
Oh, yeah.
Because
for
many
sure.
guys, they're gamers, but they don't want to say it because they're embarrassed. That's for another video.
Oh, for sure.
But that's why maybe people don't know the flag also because they're in the closet. There's another closet now.
Plus, it's how new is the gainer flag?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that honestly. It's probably 2 or 3 years old. It's
Right, so it's fairly new.
Yeah, it's pretty recent. I think there have been like tentative, but it's always kind of been like associated mostly to the bear community and that kind of thing. We have the 2 black stripes that are kind of like represent the link to all the other fetishes and all the other like BDSM community and all the other kink scenes and that kind of thing. It's a really interesting flag. I have horrible memory, so I won't go into explaining each color, but you can look it up, and it's a fascitating.
Yeah, it's beautiful flag actually.
Yeah.
It's cute. I like it.
Yeah, it's Napolitan ice cream. I don't know if you've caught on to that.
Now get me hungry.
So
It's been a while. It's been a while. I don't have Napolitan ice cream.
Yeah.
That's funny you mentioned about the labels, how we identify ourselves, because many situations, even for me, say could be a bear, but you get to places when they say I'm not a bear. So it's very curious how this labeling can be relative, I guess.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We were at an event in Palm Springs called Chub Fest.
Yeah,
and the publisher of a magazine,
a bear magazine,
just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And it was like a cocktail social hour.
Yeah.
And he came up to us because we had talked to him before, and he asked us, "Oh, that's interesting. Is there like a crossover between the chubs and the bears?"
We said, well, for us, there are bears that are chubs and chubs that are not bears.
Yeah.
So it's
Right. Yeah.
we were surprised.
He was really, really surprised.
Interesting.
And the funny thing is, he's a muscle bear.
Oh.
In many cases now,
So he's another
label.
Another label. The way that I see it is labels are a thing for yourself. You can label yourself because it makes you feel comfortable and it helps you find your tribe and the people that you relate to. But when we start labeling other people, I think that's when it gets problematic, saying you're that. Like, and if that person's not asking which label you would attribute to me and you're just telling them you're this, I think that's when it gets problematic. I think it's a really personal thing.
Yes, because I think label is all relative. We keep saying, in my opinion, if you ask what a bear is, for me, is a state of mind. It's more a state of mind than
actual
a body thing. Yes, technically, originally, there's the body thing, the fur, blah, blah. But guys that have a body of, we could call a bear, but his mind, he's not a bear at all.
Yeah.
And many guys have totally slim body, totally smooth, but have more a bear mind. So it's very interesting thing.
Yeah.
How
How would you describe the bear like state of mind? Like that makes me curious. Like what's
I guess the guy understand the meaning of that. Like you have a different taste.
You like
for
flannel?
men. I like flannel, I like the bear, the beard.
Okay, I'm not a bear then. Never mind.
No, the guys like the bear, the beard. It has this thing for the fur. I think there's some characteristics that could mean more a bearish guy.
Yeah.
But if a person understand the word too, sometimes guys they have no idea of. Some guys are bigger and furry, but they don't like it. They hate it. So they're not looking for me a bear because they don't want that.
Yeah.
They want to be other way. It's so complex.
Yeah.
It is very complex. Yeah, for sure.
So said about shaving your body, those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why did you decide about? Let's go to the beginning.
Yeah, that goes to the beginning. I don't know. I just kind of like always preferred to be hairless. It's just kind of always been like that. In my family, people are pretty hairy and people are pretty slim. So basically, I'm just going to the total opposite of what my family is. So yeah, it's just kind of always been like this. And every time that sometimes I'm going to be dating someone and he's going to be like, I prefer if you're hairier, or I prefer if you don't shave. And then I try it for a bit, and then after a month or whatever, every time I think I'm going to try it for a little bit, like, it doesn't last very long. It's just me.
We can't please everybody anyways, because sometimes I heard, like, I'm chubby, but then a guy said I wasn't chubby enough. 300 pounds, I wasn't chubby enough at that time. Or if I'm chubby with a fur, some people don't like it. Some people like the chubby without the fur. It's very never going to please everybody. It's always going to be something.
The most important, I think, is that you please yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that I've realized, that every time I try to do things that I don't really like to please other people, I kind of lose myself in the process. Like every time I date someone who wants me because of, a lot of people fetishize kind of my height in a way. So they see a 6'5" guy, they're like, oh, he's really masculine. There's always things that, you should let yourself be hairier. You should speak in a lower voice. You should. And then I realized they're not into me for me. They're into me for a whole other reason. I feel like some people will change for their partner because it's okay with them in a way. But some people like me will lose themselves in the process. And whenever I end up doing that, I realize later, that wasn't such a good idea. So
because you won't be yourself anymore. You're going to be something else.
Yeah, something fake.
Yeah, exactly. So me, in a way, people are like, but it's not natural. You're shaving, you should be all natural, all hairy and everything because that's your body's tendency. But in a way, me changing myself is me being is me striving for what is my ideal for myself.
And think about the label thing you were talking earlier, and you start in the bear tribe, let's say. Do you think that even you shave, you are still a bear?
Yeah, I think that, I really ascribe to what you said earlier, that bear is kind of a state of mind, and it's also a community. And I see it a lot as an umbrella community because it compromises many subcultures of gay culture. So you can be, and you also have people who can't grow body hair. And we would never tell them you're not a bear because you can't grow body hair, because that would be so rude. So in a way, I think that whether you're furry or not, like, you can still be a bear, because if that's the label that works for you, you could be a twink and still be a bear, in a way, right? But also, I keep wondering, like, what would be the term then if I'm not a bear because I don't have body hair? What would we call that? Because we have the otter, the bear, the cub, the wolf, the bull. I'm just like, but there's no like hairless one. So every time I just change, I'm a gay alligator. I'm a gay elephant. I'm a gay.
The toxic bear. I'm toxic.
Toxic.
Yeah, you're toxic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I saw on Reddit maybe a manatee. And it's like big, burly, hairless whale like cow. I don't know.
That'd be an excellent.
That would be a question for people in the comments. Let us know, what is a hairless big guy who's also muscular? Let us know below, right?
Yes, great idea.
Right? Because you have the jocks, right? But then they're always going for the 6-pack abs. I don't want the 6-pack abs. I want none of that.
No. I had a guy showing before trying to tease me, but actually that's not going to get me. It was frustrated, but it was sad. I like to reject people, but I said, just tell me anything.
I'll be your friend, but sexually, there's nothing gonna happen.
For sure. Well, you know what? That's actually funny, because my first kind of like I don't know if it would be encounter, but I saw bears interacting, and I was like, oh, I want to be part of that. And basically, we were at a restaurant, and there was a guy outside who just showed his stomach to the other bears inside to probably like turn them on. I was like, that is my kind of gay interaction right there. Yes. I want to know what's going on here.
Yes, that's
Be my friend, please.
Get my attention.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Like someone who shows their 6-pack, I'll be like, okay, sure, cool, good for you. Well done. I'm sure a lot of hard work went into that. But
yeah.
You're great, but anyways, I'll talk to your friend over there.
Yeah,
the other one.
Yeah, that's right.
And when did you start shaving? It was long ago?
How old were you?
So I was shaving when I was like a teenager. When I started first growing body hair, I was shaving it all. Later in my teens, I don't know. I came at a moment when I was kind of like repressing my homosexuality and everything that came with it. So all my feminine tendencies, I kind of like repressed them. So I stopped shaving in that moment. And then when I came out about a few years later, I started shaving again, and I was like, oh, I've lost this part of me, you know? So it was always something. It wasn't a guy who told me you're too hairy or anything. It's always something that's just been like within, a desire within.
Mine was the opposite. 20 years ago, at least 35 years ago, I had met this guy back in Brazil. He shaved his crotch, and I said, let me try. And then I did mine. But it didn't work for me. After a while, I was feeling something missing in me. Like, okay, that's not something I was enjoying to do that. So I never did again. It was only once. And the body, I never shaved it other than that.
Yeah.
You then would take hours.
Yeah, it would take a long time for me to shave everywhere. The only time I had an operation once, and I had to have part of it shaved.
Okay.
So luckily it came back really quickly.
As I know, it does come back pretty quickly. But I would like to mention that I still do have like hairy legs and everything. See, still I don't shave my whole body. It's mostly just like my upper body, so above the belt.
Actually, that was another question.
The shoulders, I still have hair here. See, I feel like it would be a lot of work.
It's just like the chest.
It's just really the chest, the stomach, the back, the butt. Sometimes if I'm feeling ambitious.
Now, do you have someone do it for you, or like I would imagine your back is pretty hard to do yourself?
I have this. Where is it? I have like this back scratcher thing that has razors on it. It's super useful.
Oh yeah.
Should I take it out? Where is it? I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is right now.
I'll be scared.
No idea.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It works quite well. It doubles as the back scratcher. Very sharp back scratcher. Yeah,
actually, about the shirtless part of the show.
Is that we're going?
More raising viewers. We'll shock YouTube. Oh my God!
We're going shirtless. Okay. Let me see.
I know. I have to prove. See, I don't shave. You're just going gray now, so
yeah.
I shaved right before this, so it's oopity.
Ooh.
Right before this, so there might be little cuts. It's very sad. It's a struggle. See?
Now we're
all oopity, all shaved.
I'll shave. Oh my God!
Oh my God! I'm how to point my camera on this. Okay, well that's how we're gonna go. It's like mirrored.
Nice. Yeah, it's cool. And I didn't have bad reactions before when said people, oh, actually I shave. Have people say, oh, or you, or
Do people stop talking to you, or?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I find it really interesting because I have, because on one hand, you have a lot of people like I'm a gainer and I'm into like feeding and people gaining weight and whatnot. That's ultimately what that community is sexual gratification through weight gain is what it is, and the kinks that surround it. Don't know why it's like that. It's just like that. It's always been like that. No need to ask questions. That's just what it is. But you have a lot of people who kind of like. One time I was outside a bar in New York. Guy comes up to me. He sees probably the fact that my shoulders are shaved because when it comes out like stubble. And he was like, "You shouldn't shave. You should let that grow out." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he's, and I was like, "Are you on a diet?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, you shouldn't diet. You should let yourself, grow, whatever." And then he was like, "What the?" He was really confused and really like puzzled. And in a way, he was like, "Oh, are you into those things?" So for some reason, getting big or, getting big on purpose or liking people who get big on purpose is weird. But if it's about growing out your body hair, it's perfectly okay to tell people. But I've definitely had those reactions like a lot. Like I've been told that's a crime, that I should never do that. It's horrible. It's sad. It's tragic. I feel so bad for you feeling the need to shave to please some part of you that's broken. Yeah, I've had all sorts of pleasant.
Good thing. The interview we had on the chat, we mentioned that about, oh my God, it's a crime shaving. Then later you message. Right?
Yeah, I was watching that. I was like, okay. I mean, I hear that all the time, right? So it's okay to a certain extent, and I'm used to it. And I was like, okay, maybe it would be interesting to hear the other side, right?
Yeah. That's why it came up for us. So maybe you're unfair in that term, because since you talk about body positivity, and everything, that to bring that up to discuss, I think it would be very important to tell people, there's so many different ways. So people like it, some people, yes. I think it's a crime in a way, in the sense people like, I want to be hair. Some people, I would kill to be furry.
For sure.
Sense.
Yeah, there's some people who are naturally smooth.
Yeah, for sure. They're jealous of me, and I'm jealous of them.
And that guy's jealous of you. See, it's a crime, double crime.
Yeah, double crime, exactly.
When did you start having hair on your chest?
Oh, in my teens, I think.
Late
teens? No, probably like late teens, early 20s, probably. Okay. I'm not sure. I couldn't really tell you that because the moment it came out, I was like, razor.
Yeah, because like I had stubble early on. Like I was
2 years old.
No, 12.
Yeah, I guess it started like pretty, like people are hairy in my family. Like that's just how they are on my mom's side, my dad's side. Everyone's hairy. Like there was no way that I would get like the lucky genetic draw or whatever. Lucky, big quotation marks, because I know that a lot of bears would love to be hairy. So I don't know. There's no way I was going to be naturally smooth. I did try to laser my back though, and there's still hair growing there. So that was a waste of money.
Yeah. But that's what I want to talk about, because it will be important to show people their difference, the many ways to think. The many guys, for sure, they do the same. They think the same way as you do. Is also to show people there's a diversity. There's no
for sure.
One way is the right way. No, that's
like sometimes we get people saying they're sending their pictures to be featured on Bears in Excess on Instagram, and they're like, I know I'm not hairy enough, or
maybe I love that. I think I sent
that. Or I think I've sent a lot of them say that because like they've actually been refused on other pages.
For sure. And I love that you guys do that. It's wonderful to be able to have a full diversity, because for all the body positivity that the bear community talks about, you see a lot of discrimination in a way. And I think that has merit to be talked about, because it's still a really big problem. A lot of people being discriminated against for, either their ethnicity, their body type, their, hairiness, or what, I don't know how you would call that.
Well, discriminating in the own community. People said I'm too big to be a bear, or other people said for me to shave. People told me to shave before. And there's so many within the community. It's not even like outside.
They're sometimes even harder.
Yeah, very rude things.
From outside of the community?
No, inside.
Oh, yeah.
You had a bear for 1 year ago. The guy came, message saying I should laughing if I ate 2 turkeys because it's having my belly.
Okay.
And then other guy said, "Oh, we should lose weight. It's so dangerous." I said, "But you don't even know me, so why?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how dare you say something to someone?
I don't message people. Oh, you should do this. No, there are many things.
People do that to feel better about themselves. They said they feel like they're caring, but they're not caring. They're just kind of like boosting their ego by insulting some random person that they've never met, that they don't know their motivations, that they don't know anything about them than what they saw on an app or on the internet. That's too bad. But
Actually, by the way, people watching, please, if you're watching, tell us, have you been discriminated for your differences? Or to fat, to slim, to furry, to everything?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah.
We'll hear from you.
Yeah, let us know in comments below. It's a really good discussion to be having because I hear from a lot of people who are always saying, I feel a little uncomfortable with the bear community because I feel discriminated against. And I was like, okay, we should be talking about this because there's a lot of people that I'm sure want to make the bear community a better community to be a part of. So let's have these conversations because it's important.
Does that should be one or the other? There's so many ways.
So sorry.
Somebody fainted.
I'm struggling with this. I'm going to smash my phone during this interview.
Should have like a rubber or something. He's fine. He didn't.
I'm going to take these off. Can you still hear me? Is the sound okay?
Yeah,
it's fine.
The sound's going to change throughout the interview. They're going to be like, what?
No, it's doing good. It's doing good.
But I feel like this is recurring criticism. A lot of people feel like it's a shame that I can't touch it up. So to people who say that kind of comment, it's the same thing for people who say it's a shame you can't lose weight, it's a shame you can't have a six-pack, you'd be very attractive if you looked a certain way or you acted a certain way. I say the same thing to everyone, and that is... Bubbles! 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 In my first video on this channel, I was really talking about my transformation, my body transformation over the years, why I did it, what pushed me to do it.
And talk about another thing. You told me today also have 3 channels at least.
Yeah, I have 3 YouTube channels. So the original, I started YouTube a really long time. I have 4 channels actually, but one is completely inactive. Yeah, I have a lot of channels. I really like video as a medium because I think it's a really good way to start conversation and to tell stories. So I originally started YouTube. I wanted to get into the YouTube world for a while. Started something with my friend, and it was called Two Queers in Montreal, where we would just talk about being queer in Montreal. First channel, it did okay. It was fun to make. It was a lot of work for sure. Then I started doing something like kind of secret. So this was at the time that I was, I knew I was a gainer for a long time, but I had always kind of been afraid of being outed because I knew that there's some people who are always trying to show that trying to like blackmail or whatever. There's bad people out there. Wow. And I knew that as someone who was part of this community that a lot of people aren't out, I was vulnerable. So I wanted to start the coming out process on my own terms by talking about it and reaching out to people. And also the fact that I had never seen anyone like talk about being a gainer on YouTube. Never seen that. I always, until I found the community online, I had assumed I was the only one in the world. I was just a freak, So when that happened, it was like an aha moment. So I started talking about it a little bit on YouTube, saw that a lot of people like that kind of content. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready for my coming out. So I created my second channel, leanerornottv, which is now leanerornottv. And then I talked about me gaining weight on purpose. At that point, I didn't label it as gainer. I labeled it as a personal choice because to a certain extent, it is a personal choice to a certain extent. And then finally, I labeled it as the word gainer when I made like an educational video, what is a gainer? And then another series coming out as a gainer on first dates and that kind of stuff. And I thought it was really cool to be talking about these kind of conversations. And then lately I wanted to do like other kind of stuff like skincare videos. So I started another channel for that, but yeah.
Because handling one channel is a lot of work. Imagine 4. Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, but I really just kind of like upload on them like intermittently. I'll be like, this week the videos on that channel. This week the videos on that channel. Go over there. So I pretty much use my Instagram just to kind of like like as a central thing.
But it's important. I think that's a cool idea to use YouTube for other things, not just. That's how also you decide to do this channel. More useful to talk about beyond pictures. So it's not just pitching a guy. You have to show the person behind the picture. It's not just. Interesting stories.
Thank you for having me about this. I really appreciate it.
No, you're very welcome. Very proud to feature you. Very nice. I think you need to show people different ways, different everything. Because there's no point just posting picture all the time. We like doing that, but it's beyond that. Because that's what we learn.
Everyone enjoys the pictures, but when I saw the little video, I was like, oh, this is a really cool initiative. I'm glad that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
You were having a good time, I could tell. And I was like, I enjoyed watching this.
Thank you, appreciate. And
feel free to comment and ask questions in the comment section.
Because I think I'm gonna have you more than once in this channel. Get ready.
Yeah, for different.
Be Alex in excess.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on and talking about like the differences. And also, I wanted to do a shout out to all the feminine bears out there who are able to kind of explore their femininity. I know it's not always easy in this kind of community. A lot of people are like, I only want to see you as a masculine person. But a shout out to all of y'all who are brave enough to be yourselves and know that you are accepted. You are worthy of who you are, regardless of, you can be both masculine and feminine. The duality between both is okay.
And there's so many different. What I learned all these years is about this. Everything's so rich. There's so many. Everything's so relative.
Yeah,
absolutely. You can say black or white or red and blue. There's so many nuances of everything. So even the bear, you can say bear is this. No, there's so many ways. They're even more feminine. But I'm sure many guys feel shy or feel weird to come out because of that. Same thing I mentioned about gayness feeling shy to come out. How people are going to think about me because how they're going to understand. I said, there's so many things at the same time. It's hard.
Yeah, like first you come out as gay and then you come out as a bear. And
oh my gosh, yeah, for sure. I remember when I came out as gay and I was like, yes, I'm out of one closet. Now I have the other closet to come out. And that's going to be harder to explain to my family because in my family, everyone's skinny and everyone's diet culture and everything. So I was like, oh, the new bear, but we're able to have these conversations. We're able to talk and we're kind of pretty lucky to be able to have these discussions and kind of have our, our own chosen families to a certain extent.
Yes, so many things.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And that was it. It was so nice to talk to him, to Alex.
It was really great talking to Alex.
I'd like to thank you, Alex, for the time. And we have so many things to talk to you about, so you're going to have to gladly have more shots with you.
Yeah.
Get ready for us. And if you're watching us now, if you got all the way here, so please subscribe. Bear Success. Check our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Have a private Twitter. Ask us.
Ask us.
And please let us know. Write a comment also
please
saying.
Write a comment below.
Have you felt discriminated before about anything? Like if people said you're not bad enough or you're not slim enough or not thick enough. So tell us your experience. I'd like to hear from you. Right?
Yep.
And also you can check our Fluffies channel, the other channel, here on YouTube. And before we go, the most important is
stay fluffy.
Let's get